Hello everyone, my name is Mike and this is Matrix to Paradise. I created this channel to document my journey from the Matrix, which was a truck driving job and many other jobs before that, to my personal paradise, living my life how I want to live it. And it just so happens to be I'm in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and living the best life retired. I just want to come back and talk about a certain subject about what happens with a lot of foreigners when they move overseas. And if you don't move overseas with somebody and you're by yourself, you develop a pattern, you develop a routine. And that depends on your personality, what habits you have, what you do, and all that. And the smart thing is to fall into a pattern that improves yourself and where you can have the most fun, you can maximize the time you have left, no matter what age you are, and have the best life, basically. And I think a lot of guys come over, not just to Cambodia, but anywhere to retire, and they think that everything's going to be great, which it is for a long time. But you have to have a purpose. You cannot just jump into retirement and just lay around and do nothing, or you'll drive yourself bananas. And you might end up doing things that, don't benefit you and your health. A lot of guys will spend most of their days in a bar, slugging down beers, rather than going to do something to keep themselves actively happy. You could have stayed in in your home country to drink yourself to death. You don't have to do it here. But what I'm saying is I think that people need a purpose. They cannot just retire and then just lay around and do nothing, or you end up dying. I mean, your body needs to do something. Your mind needs to be working on something. You cannot just cash it all in and just lay around and do nothing. Eat and drink or do whatever. You can't just do that. You just can't. I mean, no matter if you stay in the Matrix or you get out of it, you have to keep your mind and your body active, or it decays. That's what happens. I mean, you take your old car and you park it behind the barn, and you go back there 10 years later, it's going to be decayed. That's what's going to happen to you if you come over or go anywhere or stay retired somewhere, whether it be in your home country or overseas, and you don't do anything, you're going to decay. I saw it many times when I was working for the post office, and I just see it a lot. You can tell the ones that are not going to last long here, even. But so I think you go through some phases. Like, I'm still kind of in the baby phase now, where I'm here. I'm free. I feel like I'm getting away with something, like I'm skipping school or something and having a great time. I'm still not. I mean, I've been here. This week is going to mark my 3-month anniversary here. 3 months. And I think that, I've already gotten all the sleep done that I needed. Obviously, I'm adjusted to the time change, and, there's no jet lag because it was 3 months ago. And I'm pretty much settled into my apartment. So now, then where do I go from here, right? So I'm in the baby phase, basically, I call it, where you just jump off the plane for a few months. And it could last, a week, 3 months, 6 months, a year, who knows? I'm coming to the end of mine, okay? And it's not because, I need to do something else. I do need to do other things. I need to keep my mind active. I need to be working on something. I cannot just have my day being, going to get something to eat, taking a ride around town with my moto. I can't just keep doing that. That's another thing too, is I don't call them motorcycles anymore. They call them motos here. So I'm like adapting to the culture here. They're called motos. So I take the moto and drive around town. You can't just do that every day. You got to have some kind of purpose. Well, so my purpose now is becoming more minimalist and also becoming more frugal. So I'm gonna try and test this and see how frugal I can actually get. So now, when I was in the truck and deciding to come over here and putting together plans to come over. Now, like I said in past videos, you know, you can lay down a plan, and then when you get here, everything changes. Maybe a few points of your plan, your old plan, will pan out. Most of it won't. Like the stuff you bring over here, 3/4 of it you can toss out. You really can. I mean, I never thought I would say that before I came over here, but you know, like I said before, this place has changed even as in the time that it was before, or in the time between I was here before in 2019, it's totally changed since then. But as far as what you need here, what I thought I needed was a couple pairs of shoes because they don't have my size and all that. I'm not even wearing tennis shoes anymore. I just don't. Now I have a pair here that I kept because in case I get on a plane or, you know, I don't know. I kind of feel comfortable with just one hanging out here. Now, if I was to move somewhere else, I'd throw those out. I wouldn't even need them. So I wear Crocs all the time now. Never thought I'd ever do that. Never liked open-toed shoes or open shoes like Crocs or whatever. Never thought I'd like that. But here in Cambodia, it totally works. And I fell in love with them, and you know, I'm gonna be wearing Crocs from now on. So anyway. So like things change, and you have to go through some time to figure out exactly what you want to do and how you want your day to go, or your week to go, or your month, or your year, whatever. And pretty much I've decided that I'm going to try and organize down to the point. I'm going to try and organize down to the point. See where I can be as frugal as possible. And not that I necessarily have to be. I've got plenty of money to be here. I just want to experiment with things. I want to see how frugal I can get, see where my comfort level's at. Because when you talk to people here, like if you talk to a Khmer person that speaks English here, which plenty of them do, and you ask them, you know, how much do you spend every day on food? You know, how much do you spend every day on food? And I had this one girl tell me she spends $2 on food and $1 on a coffee. That's what she spends all day on food. Now that was 2 meals, 2 full meals and coffee. Now she goes to different places than I do to pick up that stuff, which is smart for them and also smart for us too. I gotta find some more out of the way places and not go downtown where all the tourists go to get meals that are cheaper. But you can even get more frugal than that. And I was planning before to get a gas stove burner and some cooking utensils, and you know, maybe a wok or a pan or something to cook stuff in, and a rice cooker and all that. And you can really, really be frugal with your food, because when you go downtown and buy food at a restaurant or whatever, it always jacks the price up big time. So you could make your own food in your own apartment for cheap. I mean, like stupid cheap. And so since I'm eating a lot healthier now, I don't need crazy exotic food. I just need healthy foods that I can mix together whenever I feel like it, and I could do it for really cheap. So it's intrigued me. It's got my juices flowing to see how frugal I can actually get. And, you know, and still be comfortable, I'm not gonna live, you know, I won't ever live like a Khmer has to live here. They're used to that stuff, I'm not. But, I mean, I wanna see how close I can come. That's the interesting part. Plus, I'm gonna get some more fans. There's a fan on the ceiling, but it's small. So I'm gonna get a couple more fans in here. And because during the night, a lot of times the air conditioner is right above me up here. I'll just turn the air conditioner off because it's cool enough in here. So if I get a couple fans that can point on me, you know, stand-up fans that can point on on me on the bed, I probably won't use the air conditioner that much. I've already seen it, and I've sat out in restaurants that only have fans, and you're comfortable, as long as the sun isn't beating on your head and you got a fan blowing on you, it's comfortable. You don't need AC. I mean, I've been hanging out in an open air restaurant the whole time I've been here. So that's another savings that you can make by not using the air conditioning. My air conditioning bill, along with my water bill, which is hardly anything. They don't charge much for water, like $5 a month. But my air conditioning bill has been around $75. Okay. Well, I know I could whittle that down. That's nothing. I mean, I can, I don't need to run it the whole time I'm here. I can get fans, and fans really do cool you down. And like I said, as long as you're indoors and you're not outside in the heat, anybody from Arizona knows that, you can run a fan and keep yourself, fairly cool and not have to worry about it. You're not going to sit here and sweat if a fan's blowing all the sweat off you. So you can really improve there, because air conditioning does, electricity is very expensive here. But like I say, this is the acclimation period, and you want air conditioning right away, and then you just kind of work your way into this. That's the way I'm kind of going right now. Now, when you talk about people who have been here for a long time and have adapted to the Khmer way, Dave Does Cambodia. Watch his videos. That guy, he lives in a $40 apartment, okay, with no AC. And he's been doing it for a long time without AC. So he's acclimated. Obviously, he came right after, about the same time that I was leaving Cambodia the last time he was coming. So he's been here for 6-7 years, and he's gotten himself doing the Khmer way. Now, do I want to rough it that much? I don't know if I want to really rough it that much, but I admire him for being able to do that. And he's another foodie kind of guy that he can eat anything. He loves Khmer food. He can eat all that and stuff. And I'm a little more picky. Not that I need Western food all the time, but I'm a little more picky than he is. But I can cook here in my apartment and make whatever I want, so I don't even have to go out. But it's a lot cheaper to buy eggs and rice and bread, or whatever you want to make. It's a lot cheaper to go to the market, buy all that stuff, bring it here and cook it yourself, than it is to go to a restaurant. So I'm going to try and work that. So like I say, food is one big, huge expense. Bottled water you need, because you don't want to drink out of the taps here. They don't have treated water. So I got to buy a bottle of water, which is very cheap. It's like for these 1.5 liter bottles, you buy them in the market. I think they're 69 cents a piece. So 69 cents for a 1.5 liter bottle, which is like, I don't know, a quart and a half. Yeah, it's a half quart short of a 2 liter bottle. So 69 cents, that's not bad. So you can buy a bunch of those and in a big package and bring them to your house and just drink that or cook with that and all that. But that's where I'm headed right now. That's kind of what's keeping me motivated to. It's not what I need extra motivation. I'm just saying it's motivating me to make that my purpose for now, and I'm sure that I'll get myself all squared away that way, and then I'll pick something else to do. Find some other thing to keep me excited. What else? So that's a big deal right there. Is minimalism. I don't know why it is for me, but it's gotten to be huge for me. I just think that you can survive on so much less. I really want to get down to my backpack, being able to stuff my backpack, not a suitcase, not anything else, but stuff my backpack and take that along, and that's my whole My whole existence right there is a backpack. And you can do it. You can get down that far. And I don't need to carry around a ton of stuff. I have a laptop here. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. I don't really need it. I make videos on my phone. I edit it on my phone. You know, my phone is my main electronic device that I need. That and the charging cord for that. But I don't really need to carry around a big heavy laptop. I don't need all the extra cameras that I have and all that. I don't plan on making, a channel that has drones and a crazy intro, and I don't plan on doing all that. I just plan on talking about things and showing things that are interesting in my life, in the paradise that I'm in, and wherever I go beyond that. And my favorite YouTubers are just like that. I mean, Dan Bell from Vagabond Awake, he's one of my heroes on this subject, and he just turns on the camera and goes for it and talks and shows you what he's going to do. Sometimes he does he shows you some figures and stuff on there, but most of his stuff is just turn on the camera and talk. So, or he takes video and then talks over the top of that video. And that's all you really need to do with videos. So I don't really need to carry a bunch of stuff around, a bunch of electronics around. I just don't need it. I really don't need it all. And it's just it's just junk that I need to, that I don't need to carry around. So minimalizing all that, all my clothes, all my electronics, all my paperwork, the paperwork that I need, stuffing in one backpack, a backpack about that big and about that tall. Well, you can't see it really, but just a regular backpack on your back. Nothing huge, not a big monster going camping kind of backpack, just a regular school backpack that you throw on your back and go to school with. And you can fit your whole entire life in that. And I don't know why that intrigues me so much, but that it's totally driven me to become as minimalist and as frugal as possible. So I'm whittling down on that, and that's making me, that's setting off the sparks in my brain. So that's what I'm up to right now. That's what I'm really doing. Now, I had talked about this earlier about going to Manila maybe and trying to see if I could put in for VA disability. I'm not going to do that now. I just, I've got a friend who might do it in a year or so, that he might go up there and test the waters. And if he says it's something worth doing, then I'll do it. But I don't want to risk, I've got a certain amount of money, and I don't want to risk going to, because I don't like Manila to begin with. And not that it's a bad place, it's just a huge city, and I don't want to go up there and change my whole lifestyle around to try and get something that's not guaranteed. Plus, it's more expensive in Manila than it is here. And unless there's a good case to go up there and do that, I'm not going to do that. I've only got about a little more than 4 years left until I get Social Security, and I think I'm just gonna, just sit it out and wait for that and hang out in Cambodia, or in Southeast Asia. I might move to another city in Cambodia, another couple cities in Cambodia. I might go to Laos. I might go to Vietnam. I probably won't go to Thailand. I've already been there before, and it's way more expensive there. And plus the Thai stuff is getting, I think they closed the border anyway with all this crap going on up north. Thankfully that's settled down too. There's no sign of anything here regarding the border dispute with Thailand. So apparently President Trump took care of that and got the two sides started. So anybody worried about that, if you know me, don't worry, everything's good here. But I probably won't be going to Thailand or Myanmar. I want to go to both those countries, but both of them are having problems right now. And Thailand seems to have some problems going on with making it very hard for people to go there and stay long term. Myanmar is a problem because they're having a civil war there right now, and some of the places that I wanted to go see just got hit by an earthquake a few months back, and it was just devastating. Mandalay, I wanted to go there and see that, but it's just a mess right now over there. I think we're gonna have to wait for that to get settled, get things cleaned up there, wait for peace to come there, and maybe after that go up there and check out Myanmar. But those are all within bus rides away, and bus rides, Vietnam, Laos, all these countries are a bus ride away, and buses are cheap as hell here. So I can always do that if I want to do that to spice things up. But right now I'm perfectly happy in Siem Reap, and I don't want to leave here right now anyway. And I'm perfectly happy here, and things are going very well here. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm not going to go to Manila after all, unless, like I said, my friend is going to go up there and try the same thing. If he goes up there and scouts the waters and things turn out good, and he gives me a full report that it's good, easy to do or whatever, then it'll be a different story. Then maybe I'll head up there. He'll be able to give me the scoop. I just don't have the money that he does to go up there, and I don't want to spend 6 months in Manila when I can spend 6 months here. So we'll see what happens. Anyhow, so that's my update. That's what I'm doing. I've got a little video showing my breakfast that I usually eat at the Viva restaurant that I go to. I'll show that video in here. And thankfully, I think that rainy season is starting to come to an end. I might be speaking too early, but it hasn't rained in really hard in a couple days. But it did rain hard 3 days ago, really hard. So another good thing too is they're finally almost done, it seems like, with the construction on my street out here. And so I'm not having to drive through, and they actually came through with some rock, some crushed rock, to put down where all the mud's at, and got rid of the mud, thank God. So you're not driving your moto through 6 inches of mud, and you're thinking that you're gonna turn over and become, one with the mud, which hasn't happened, thank God. But the back end has slipped out a few times, and you're like, no, please no. And it didn't happen, thank God. But they put down some crushed rock, and kind of, the mud kind of went away, thank God. Then it's been sunny for the past couple days, so some of the lakes have dried up, and they've come through and, like I said, put the crushed rock down and made the road a lot nicer, thank God. Now, if they're going to go further and pave it again, I have no idea. But for now, it's good. It's good to drive on. It's not like it was. So thank God. But they're still working on it down the road. I don't know what they're doing. But one guy told me, there was one guy that spoke a little bit of English, and he told me they're putting in sewer line. It's not drainage. It's sewer line. So, the drainage might still be a problem, but I think most of it wasn't a problem before they started doing the construction. But once they started doing the construction, we started getting these lakes out there and the mud and all that stuff. But before that, it wasn't that bad. But anyway, it's getting cleared up nonetheless, thank God. But I have no complaints. I'm not bitching. I just think it's funny. But but driving through the mud on a motor scooter is not fun when the back end starts wanting to go out, and you're trying to keep it on the road and keep it upright. It's not fun. But that's all behind me, and we're doing good. So that's pretty much the update. Everything's going great here. I'll put in that video of my food that I usually eat at Viva, that I'm going to stop eating once I start making it myself. And probably another rain video in there. Anyway, everybody take care. I will get back to you soon, and everybody have a great day. Bye now. Okay guys, here we go. Here's a breakfast at Viva. This is my favorite restaurant downtown. So this is eggs, sausage, bacon, and toast. And I think this whole thing will cost me $4.50 for this breakfast here. And then I buy this kefir, water kefir. It's a probiotic drink that really tastes good. And it's good for your gut health, so I buy it and drink that. And then I'm drinking water. Not drinking diet soda anymore. I'm drinking water and this kefir stuff here. This is really good. It tastes good too. This one is butterfly pea flavor with lemongrass in it, I guess. And then there's passion fruit, beetroot, and I can't remember the other one. Beetroot, passion fruit, and ginger. That's the other one. So they have those flavors in that kefir drink. And then this is the mineral water that I always buy. And I believe that's $2.50 for those big bottle, 1.5 liter bottles. So I have one or two of those. So it's, you know, this whole breakfast, I'll stay here for a couple hours and drink this water and eat this breakfast, and it'll be, I don't know, probably $10 total. But I'm gonna start winding myself down from getting food out here, because this is actually the most expensive part of Siem Reap. This is like downtown, right down the street from Club Street. So this is going to be expensive here. I'm going to start making this stuff at home. Anyway, I just wanted to show you breakfast that I usually did here, and this probably whole thing will cost me about right around $10. Anyway, take care, guys. Get back to you soon. Bye. Now this is coming down really, really hard right now. I mean, it's raining really, really hard. When they start shutting the inner doors so that the wind doesn't come flying through here, you know it's a pretty crazy storm. It's coming down very hard. And that's the reason why I'm not going home right now. I'm going to wait until this is over with and drive on home. It is only 2:15 p.m. so it looks like it's later on in the day, but this is one hell of a rainstorm. Hopefully it only lasts about a half an hour, 45 minutes. That's usually how long they last. But yeah, this is pretty hardcore. It's coming down really hard. And it has been for the last 15, 20 minutes, so hopefully it's almost over. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye. Okay, guys, here I am in a bar called Mexed Up here in Siem Reap. There's a friend of Kelly from Asia, Ottoman Asia, and he is doing a set of live music. So I'm going to go in here and take a few minutes of video, and I'll let you see what goes on here in Siem Reap, Cambodia. It's awesome. This bar is really cool too. A little small space, but it's cool. Just a little time to prepare. When the rose is my cross, I hope you will be there. There's Kelly. And right over there next to him is, or right across from him is Dave from Dave Does Cambodia. There's John. Hold on. Oh, here is
Alright, here's one you'll recognize.
Cambodia beer.
Yes, you're really done.
Wow.
My dad loved this song when I was in high school. I told you.
Dave, say hi.
Hello.
Let a man Bojangles and he dance free.
Awesome.
Worn out shoes.
See you later, guys.